Big up Team Kopish. Not the result or the performance we were predicting or hoping for, but we deserve to lose this game, and we need to be honest with ourselves. Even if we would have come out with a point, would we have that feeling of, this point was truly deserved? I don't think so. West Ham, they they did everything right to get out with 3 points. Uh, this season so far in the league, we drew against Brighton and Brentford. We had taken the lead in those games. Those are the games I'm more mad about. We took the lead and we could not keep it. We could not beat a 10-man Chelsea team. We could not score past them. Um, Something's got to change. What is happening with our defensive and midfield? Last season, when our entire midfield, sorry, not midfield, but the defensive line was injured, we were not conceding that many goals. If you think about it, the games we were losing by a goal, most of them. But this season so far, 10 or 11 games in, and we are conceding goals like crazy, and we've got our boys back. Few things that need to change. I think Robo needs to play one half, and maybe the other half needs to be given to Simicas. We have this option in the left back area. It needs to be used properly. Why cannot Simicas get to play a half when Simicas is playing so well? And then with our midfield, look, it is what it is, The second half was shambles by our midfield. By the end of the game, when I start feeling that, hey, Ox had a really good game, when we have two other midfielders like Hendo and Fabinho, that tells you everything. Allison, yeah, today was just not his day. But in the overall picture, he's been amazing so far. So it is what it is. Now we've got a 2 weeks break for the internationals, and something's got to be done. I don't know what Jurgen Klopp and the coaching team are going to do, but they have to focus on it. They really need to focus on this, conceding goals so easily. They're not like brilliant goals. All the three goals, two headers. No, the first one was not. The first one was an old goal, whatever. The different, it went against us. Second one was, just a slotted shot in, and it went under Allison's hands or whatever. And then the third goal, another header. Nah, like these are crappy goals. We cannot concede these crappy goals. So yeah, like I was saying, 2 weeks break. We got Arsenal, who are, by the way, just 2 points behind us. They had they had a really bad start, and now they're 2 points behind us. Yet we were undefeated, and now look where we are. We lost a game, and now we've got Arsenal behind us, and we've got West Ham, ahead. So if we want to stay with Chelsea and City up top, we need to do something about our defensive and midfield line. What needs to be done? Jurgen knows best. Let's see if he makes the changes and he can rectify all these mistakes that are happening. But if not, that's it. This title, just forget about it. We're just going to try and fight for the top four, and we might have to look at other competitions, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, whatnot. But anyways, guys, a bad day, but look, we have to just move on, and these sort of results can happen. And let's hope for the best.
Alisson was not that guy today. Klopp was not that guy today. For choosing Robertson, who has not been that guy for quite some time, over Tsimikas, who has been that guy on form. Can someone please edify me on the logic behind Klopp choosing Robo consistently, no matter how good Tsimikas plays in the previous match? Klopp just never chooses Tsimikas. And I'm pretty sure that J.W. Henry, as stingy as he is, would pay money from his own pocket to get that answer. I'm sure. And that's not our midfield. Those guys are imposters. Our real midfield is somewhere in the tropical island vacating, down a vacation. Those are imposters. Our midfield is piss poor. I said once in one of my reaction videos that the midfield is going to be the reason behind us winning or losing the league. The midfield. You saw Van Dijk's reactions? That sums up my mood for the game. I tried out for the military today. My body was beat up and Liverpool came to finish me off. What a day. And Klopp, can you please just play Divock Origi? Divock Origi has shown time and time again that he is a superior finisher. He needs game time. This is the perfect time. Don't overplay Jota. Jota might just, get injuries because he's overplayed. Play Divock Origi. He showed today. He showed. We messed up. We gave West Ham hope like that is a newfound Man City or something. Now David Moyes is feeling like the new Guardiola. I believe in the next game he's going to cut his hair off bald. Because he feels like he's now I'm the new Scottish. I don't know where he's from, but he's the new, Pep Guardiola, the Scottish Guardiola. We are messing up.
Yeah, welcome back to Team Kopish. It is your boy Klopp Talk TV. I'm just going to react to West Ham Liverpool, which was 3-2 at the London Stadium. And look, it is Monday morning, and that raw reaction is removed, and it's more of a fair weather perspective. But I'm still fuming, and my opinion's still the same. I'm still adamant that if we play at that level, people who still think we can win the league, if we consistently play at that level, just give up, because at the end of the day, there's 17 games we've played, 6 of which we've either bottled leads or we've dropped points from winning positions. That's not good enough if you want to win the league. And if you're playing 50 games a season, that's 16 games this season that you're going to drop points or bottle leads from. We're defensively not good enough at the moment, and I think purely that's down to the fact that we're rotating the centre-halves a bit too much. Every week it seems to be Van Dijk, Matip, then back to Van Dijk, Konate, back to Van Dijk, Matip, Van Dijk, Matip, back to Van Dijk, Konate. Look, I get this rotation, that needs to happen, but I just feel like that rotation is not helping Van Dijk out at all. And, Van Dijk was the only one for me in that back four, with Trent for that peach of a free kick, but even he wasn't brilliant at the end of the day. There was only a few players which I felt could really hold their head up high after yesterday's performance, Van Dijk being one of them. I think we could have been about 4 or 5 down if it weren't for Van Dijk. So he was one of the more positive players. But look, the referee, everyone's having a go at the referee. Look, the first goal, I think it was, I always had the idea that he was going to be given, because he's gone for the ball. Yes, does he back into Alisson? But is he trying to read the ball? But is he trying to impede Alisson? It's probably an argument of both. But I think Alisson's partly there to blame for that goal. Look, conceding from set pieces is not brilliant, but the fact that we were so defensively vulnerable from set pieces yesterday was shocking. 3 corners, 2 goals, 1 hit the bar. It was just not good enough. It was not good enough defensively from our part. You know, we struck back with a free kick, showed intent. It was a good free kick, but we were never accumulating enough chances for my liking. You know, it never felt like we were going to blow them out the water. It always felt like it was going to be a tight game based on the first half performance. We need to talk a bit about Robertson, Chamberlain. These players at the moment are not proving themselves. They're not good enough. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain had a good performance against Atletico. He had a very good performance. But he was so quiet yesterday. He was so quiet. And then you have Robertson, who hasn't been the same since the start of the season. I don't know why we're still starting him over Tsimikas. Tsimikas has had a better performance whenever I see him play. Look, you know, they scored that Fornals goal. It was just all defensively. We were all over the shop, and then the third one was just embarrassing. I think that was the worst one to concede out of all 3. The fact we didn't even pick up Zuma. He's not 4 foot. He's 6'5". The fact we weren't picking him up, I think, was embarrassing. It was just schoolboy stuff. Look, we got a good goal with Divock Origi, another one of the star performers for Liverpool, and that says it all. Like, for me, he was one of the only players showing fight in the game. One of the only. There was Van Dijk and Origi for me. They were showing fight and intent, but for the rest of them, I'm not sure what they were doing. Look, we lick our wounds, we taste defeat to anticipate and enjoy success even more, but we cannot win the league if we play like that.
How's it going, Kop-Ish? So West Ham 3, Liverpool 2. I actually did a review, but it actually got deleted somehow off my phone, or when it's sending and it didn't finish sending, and then I deleted it to free up space on my phone. But so this, I had to do it again. So I apologise if it's not as good, but in general, it's a bitterly disappointing result. And to be honest, I'm still not over the Brentford and Brighton game. I still don't understand some people from some channels that were celebrating the draw if it was a good result. Drawing at home to Brighton and drawing away to Brentford is shocking, especially if you want to win the league. The rivals of Chelsea, Man City, who very, very rarely drop points, capacity to win games whenever they want. You cannot be drawing these games, especially when you're 2-0 up to Brighton. I don't understand people that have this mindset early on in the season. Oh, we're only 2 points off. Oh, we're only 4 points off. Oh, we're only this, we're only that. A draw is not that bad. Stuff like this. These points accumulate, and it means that when you drop points, it means you have to actually go ahead and win a consecutive number of games in a row. And that's not easy in the Premier League. So when you drop points in games you shouldn't do, it's difficult, and it's difficult to come back. And I wasn't confident about this game at all. The midfield was abysmal. The way in which we weren't able to carve West Ham open, the way in which we moved the ball, our intensity, our quality in possession, our creativity, our decisiveness, the speed of pass, the accuracy of pass, the conjuring up of ideas, is all really, really bad. I think we need to develop some new systems of attack, especially when we're playing against low block teams. In general, yeah, we do create a lot of chances, we've scored loads of goals, which is fine, but sometimes you need to implement new systems when you're coming up against teams that have different defensive, styles. And West Ham obviously aren't a low block team, but that's how they operated. And even when we had that half a space where Jota could drive, Mane could drive, Salah could drive, Ox could drive, they weren't productive enough with the ball. I didn't see enough intensity, I didn't see enough skill, and this is the type of game, whenever we play against a team that sits a lot of men behind the ball, this is when I miss Coutinho, because he's so good at operating in tight spaces. He's so good at the threat of a shot from distance, which creates space because you have to be closed down, so therefore it creates more space for attackers, 1-2 intricate play. We need to develop that, and I think Keita is actually not bad at that because he's quite good at operating between the lines, taking the ball on a half turn. He's quite a nimble player. Chamberlain, Fabinho and Henderson aren't those types of players. Ox is just... he's pulling in very, very average performances. It's really sad to see because there's nothing more that we want than to see Ox do well, but it's painful, it's slow, it's laborious, it's just not incisive enough. And we hardly created much. Mane, I think, was our most threatening player. He is obviously one of my favourite players, and obviously I think he should have converted the chances that he had. They weren't that easy, but definitely I think should have at least scored one of them. I hate seeing this reactionary stuff that I'm seeing when, I don't even want to say it properly, but when people have bad games, they're like, oh, we should sell this player, we should sell that player. Like, if you actually say that, I don't think you're a fan, because it shows a complete disrespect to everything they've done for us, and it shows a complete, lack of loyalty, and also a complete lack of belief that the player can get better. Just because they had a bad game doesn't mean they should be sold. If you genuinely think we'd be better off with selling and buying new players, okay, fair enough. Make the argument, give your case, and that type of stuff. Don't just say, oh, sell this player, sell that player. It's the most stupid thing in the entire universe, and it's complete disrespect to the players, and it shows a lack of any sort of respect and love and emotion and care for the team. So it's stupid. That is over the top reactions. Being really critical of performance and being fucking pissed off that we dropped points to West Ham and we lost, and that we was terrible, and that we haven't played well in the last couple of games, and that we may not win the league or something like that. Obviously entitled to be like that. If we make mistakes, go ahead, be annoyed. There's different levels of reactions. So their goals they scored, really, really crap, to be honest. Keeping, let's be honest. Alisson has, been known to make a few mistakes of late. Even last season, he made a considerable number of errors. I think he's done really well in the Champions League, and he's come up with the goods in the Premier League a few times this season. But in general, there's been we have conceded quite a few goals, and I think Alisson has been very, very average so far, to be honest. Really should have been stronger. I do think it's a foul. Ogbonna and Antonio both together, I think that combined to make a foul. Creswell's challenge was objectively a red card. I don't even care what anyone has to say. It's a high foot, it's dangerous, it's reckless, it's a leg breaker. Like, if you don't think it's a red card, I don't think you understand football, to be honest. It's a red card, he follows through. Holgate got a red card against Spurs in the game. Pogba's red card as well. Even if you get the ball, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean like it's fully clean. It's really dangerous, and it's a red 100%. You can't be normalising tackles like that. You can normalise a clean tackle in football, fine. Make sure it's still a physical game and shit like that, but it's a clear red card. The second goal again we should have done better. Where's the shithousery in the midfield? Where's the mindset of making a foul, tactical fouls or something like that? It's not a bad thing. You got to do what you got to do to ensure the team don't score. We're too nice sometimes. Even when I'm playing football, if we're out of position or a team's on the counter, I'm screaming, make a foul if you need to, get a yellow card or something like that. Foul him. Like, okay, come on, man. Like, you don't want to concede, so make the foul. It's not that difficult. Alisson should have done 100% better. And the goal from the corner from Zuma, it's a good header, but again, it's cheap defending. Trent's free kick was class, and Origi, again, I've said before in reviews last season that Origi coming on as a sub is very threatening because he offers something different, and we're not conjuring up a chance, when we're not... Yeah, as I said, Origi was able to offer something different, a natural striker's instinct, the ability to get the ball, swivel and shoot. That's what you want, you just don't want to keep playing possession, back-facing goal and pass backwards. Origi's a striker, he's going to turn and shoot. And several times in his Liverpool career, he's come off the bench, and obviously his all-round game probably isn't that good, but he can rescue things, and that's what you need in a team. A squad that is diverse, that has good depth, and that is able to adapt to different style of teams. And in general, I really, again, this comes back to FSG not recruiting properly in the summer, not helping Klopp. We are outspent by several teams. Aston Villa, Leicester, Everton, West Ham are spending more money than us. Obviously, you've got our rivals in the top 6 that will spend more money than us. But the expectation and the ambition for Liverpool is to win as many trophies as possible. How is that possible when FSG do not spend properly? How is it possible they don't refresh the squad, when they don't replace Wijnaldum? They didn't even replace Lovren last year. They're so reluctant to buy players. And you could be like, oh yeah, our squad's good enough already. No, it's not. It needs refreshing. It needs updating. You need to have the depth and quality to not just rely on your first team, but to have a bench and that is able to supply the goods. City and Chelsea and United have an outstanding bench with world-class players, and that's what we're up against, so you need to match that. And we're seeing now that the first team can't always do it, so you need to have that squad and that bench to rely on. And it's very hard to win as many trophies as possible if you don't get the backing, and Klopp can only do as much as he can with FSG because they don't support him enough. It's not difficult to to conclude. They don't give enough support, and we are struggling to buy players who would improve our squad, improve our chance for success, and it's pretty much embarrassing that a club of our size is finding it difficult to buy players. The sell to buy policy is very unsustainable. It needs to change, and FSG needs to support us and help with our pursuit of trophies. But if they can't do that, then we need to set our expectations a bit lower, because we can't feasibly do much. So anyway, it's disappointing. The league is going to be incredibly difficult now. Yeah, it's still early, and people say anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen. We could lose our next game or something like that. So we've got to be realistic. But yeah, up the Reds. I hope we get back to winning ways. It's going to be a boring 2 weeks international break. I just want to see Liverpool play football. But yeah, up the Reds. Remember, we'll Cologne. Big up to you guys at Team Kop-Ish. Let's hope we get back to winning ways. Come on, the Reds.